So your mechanics are pretty good with Lucio, like the wall riding. Your aim is good, the leading shots is good. Uh, your aim is really good. There's nothing about this that would say to me that you belong in the bottom 500 from what I can see. So yeah, I would agree with you. There is something going on here, but we're gonna watch the whole replay just so you can see. But I'm gonna give you some tips, even though I'm not a Lucio player, but I can try and tell you what my I can give you like general tips, but I can't give you hero specific tips. And I'm gonna try and focus on the things you do well. I think you have good use of abilities. Like you are not just staying on speed or healing, you're stepping between them, and that's giving you more unpredictable movement, which is really helpful. It's also giving your teammates more predictable movement, and you kind of surprise the enemy team by being so aggressive, which is really good. So I would keep that up. Now you're on Torbjorn. Let's see how well you play. Good turret positioning, just to protect yourself from any flanks. It's good. You don't know about that positioning. Well, it's pretty good. It's kind of you're protecting the turret behind the box, so the enemy doesn't know it's there until they already get to the point, or like on the side flanks. So good placement, and you're pre-firing the windows, places you expect the enemy to come from, which is exactly what you should be doing. So that's very good. You're kind of just chilling here, which is you don't really need to be aggressive because you're playing on defense. So you just wait for the enemy to come. So I can say you're doing the right thing here by not really doing much. You don't need to do anything. Although I would play maybe a bit more aggressive when your team gets the kills. Like when you have the fight advantage, you can push them back into the spawn a bit more. Nice shot there onto the Tracer. Nicely done. Your aim is really good actually. Definitely not bottom 500 game. So that was kind of unlucky. Um, I think your May used her Blizzard. Maybe you could have kind of made a bit more aggro there and capitalized on the May Blizzard. Just kill any enemies that are frozen. But there wasn't really much you could have done there. Your team kind of messed up. And if your team sucks, then there's nothing you can do. Good use of Molten Core to deny them the point. Good positioning as well. Like, you're not staying in one position. So I can give you praise on that, your positioning as well. Honestly, I don't think you have any major weak points. Like, your positioning is good, your aim is good, your use of ability is good. I don't know about that. If that was intentional, maybe you were trying to not stagger. But if that was unintentional, it's fine. And here, I would probably swap to something else to get to the point more quickly. Because you're only at 33% charge. So you're not going to lose much if you swap. But then that's up to you really. If you want to stick with the pick, then I'm not going to tell you not to do that. I'm a one-trick myself, so you can't really say you have to swap. And you win. Yeah, it's nothing screams of being terrible gameplay or like bottom 500. I definitely think you belong in, doesn't specify like which exact SR once it gets below 500. So we're gonna import another one of your replay codes. This one is Numbani. Let's see what happened. Basically, the reason we're looking at this guy's replay codes is because we're evaluating the claim that the game is rigged, and I'm really suspicious about the matchmaking, given my experiences, which you can see from my own videos that I've saved. There is definitely something going on that is it's not 100% fair. There's something going on behind the scenes that is making some games completely unwinnable. Some games are just complete steamrolls, and I don't know, they're rigging it somehow. And anyone who plays the ladder enough should be able to see this, as long as they're not biased. They're not just saying things because they think they want to defend Blizzard, and they think that Blizzard is perfect and they don't make any mistakes. I'm going to say questionable positioning, because you're kind of exposing yourself to being hooked by the Roadhog, but it doesn't manage to land anything. So you're playing according to your rank, which is good. Like, you're not expecting the Roadhog to land his hook. So I wouldn't really say it was a bad play. It was fine. And you're swapping between your heal and your speed frequently, which is good. You're reacting to the Tracer on the flank, denying getting value, which is exactly what you should be doing. So well done. I would maybe play a bit more aggro, but then that's my own playstyle, so you have your own playstyle. I'm not going to tell you to change your playstyle. So maybe it works for you. Like, playing aggro works for me. So, and here I would probably have used speed a bit more. I would use speed to help your Reinhardt to get out of that situation. But that's fine. It wasn't really your fault. Your Rein kind of overcommitted there. The enemy team is playing really passively. They should be pushing here, because they killed your Rein. So that's a massive misplay from them. I'm not gonna commentate too much. You just watch this and try and evaluate what's happening. So I'm guessing Lucio is one of your main heroes that you play a lot. You seem to have really a good understanding of some mechanics and everything. Good aim, good leading projectiles. One thing I would say, remember you can use your ultimate aggressively. You don't have to save it for when the enemy does something. You can use it to engage them as well. But then that depends on your team following up, which they probably won't do at this point. So it's a judgment call whether you want to do that. Well played. Fulfill them. I don't see any like major mistakes that you're making. So keep it up. This is good. This is the good thing about OpenQ. You can switch roles at any time. So if you wanted to play damage like Widow, you can always do that. You feel you can get some picks. I'm not a Widowmaker player. I can say that your crosshair placement is good. Trying to get shots. This is actually a really good aim, like better than my aim. I would say my Widowmaker is like gold level, and your aim is better than mine. So nice job. Next game is Dorado. Let's maybe focus on your positioning more. See if anything can be improved. Nothing really stands out to me being bad. This is good. You're starting out with the damage boost, so that maybe potentially you can get picked off. Like when you're playing on attack, you want to play really aggressively. Because getting a pick on one of the defenders now is more valuable to you than if the enemy team gets a pick on you, because your spawn is really close. So play aggressively. Like even if you die, it doesn't really matter because you respawn quickly. And this is good. You're whipping out the pistol, getting those pistol kills, kind of playing as a Battle Mercy, which is I would recommend if your teammates aren't doing anything. You can always do that. There's a Reinhardt here that you can be isolated. This is good. So I like what you're doing here. You're not just using the healing beam. You're also using your own weapon and the damage boost, which is really good. Now that you're in the man advantage, you can push them aggressively here and try and get more stagger kills, which is what you're trying to do. So I'm really impressed. You can take out this Ryan. Nice. I'm really impressed. I don't know if you needed to use Valkyrie, but you're trying to kind of get a better view of the battlefield. So it's a good idea in that sense. You're kind of just assessing the enemy positions. You can maybe communicate this to your own team while you're in the air, like tell them where the enemy positions are. And you're using, this is really interesting, like you're kind of using a Battle Mercy style play, but it's a hybrid of also healing the team where they need it, which is a very interesting style of play. Like you can use Mercy as a damage dealer. This is something you can do in open queue. Is you can use Mercy as a damage dealer because your teammates can always pick up the slack by playing a healer. If you need extra healing, they can do that. And you're also using Mercy as a kind of the guardian angel to maneuver around the map more quickly. So you're taking advantage of her mobility. So well done. Only thing I can really say is play more aggressively. That's really the only advice I can give you. There's no major mistakes that you're making. So does it mean the game is rigged? I don't know. I think it probably does indicate something's wrong here because you should not be in bottom 500 with this kind of gameplay. Like if you're struggling to get out of bottom 500, there is something wrong with the matchmaking. And people are going to deny this because they want a white knight for Blizzard or whatever. But anyone who opens their eyes and looks at matchmaking and plays the game enough can identify this. Like you're not a bottom 500 player. And nice use of Guardian, the Resurrect there. This is good. So it looks like you prefer to play Widowmaker when it comes to defense. And that's perfectly fine. Like Widowmaker might be more optimal in defense. She was originally a defense hero. Like when they divided the heroes into 4 classes and they had offense and defense. So she's probably still more optimal to play on defense. And now, looking at your composition, you have 3 damage dealers, 2 healers, and 1 tank. So this is a really good composition, like 3-2-1. It's probably better than 2-2 in open queue because damage is really strong right now, from what I can tell. I mean, even 5 damage is viable, 6 damage is viable if people can play those heroes. So. And then you try to take the duel with the soldier. Might not have been the best approach, but it's fine because your team died. There wasn't really anything you could do. Like, you could have positioned a bit better there. But I get what you're doing. You're trying to play kind of riskily because you know you're going to win anyway because you steamroll them on the attack. So you might as well just take these risks. There's nothing wrong with that. They have a Pharah, so you're hopefully going to be able to land some shots on Pharah. Really poor positioning by that Pharah. And this is a good position to take. Like you have the angles, you have the sidelines, and you have cover, easy access to cover, which is what you want to do with Widowmaker. You want to go somewhere that is you can easily go behind cover if you need to. But somewhere that gives you access to a long sideline is usually the best. So I'm liking your movement as well, like you're strafing around left and right here. You're making yourself hard to hit Like, you don't need to do this because this is bronze and no one is hitting you anyway. But wow, really nice shot there. But yeah, you don't need to do the left right straight thing like that. But it's really good that you're doing it anyway because that is what you should be doing if you are playing against better players. Then it would benefit you. So I would just pop the ultimate. Yeah, you might as well. I don't know about your mind placement. I think I understand your reasoning is like you're trying to prevent if in case anyone goes to the health pad. But good patience there, good control, like self-control. You didn't immediately try and take the shot. Like you just waited a bit and give yourself time to aim. And you want to study the enemy's movement, like their movement patterns. With Widowmaker, it's not all about aim. Your aim is good, but obviously it's not all about aim, it's also about crosshair placement, observing the enemy movement patterns and seeing how they move to give you the easiest shots possible. Like, that's what you want to do with Widowmaker, is give yourself the easiest position to shoot from and move in a way that sets you up for easy shots. Like, the best Widowmakers I've seen, it's not their aim that sets them apart, it's their the way they move is gives them easy shots to land. And you notice the Farage man come from behind. I wouldn't have done that. I would have charged up the shot a bit, gone for the head. So that's fine. Maybe you panicked a bit. Doesn't really matter. You win the game. Good job. Yeah, there's nothing I'm seeing here that indicates you're a bottom 500 player. If I were to be honest, you're at least a platinum player. Your aim is better than mine. So no major mistakes being made. So you're playing Moira here. You kind of just trolling a bit, I guess, which is fine because it's a game. I don't know if I would have used the healing ball there. I kind of waste. Could have used it for damage. I would use your healing beam, like I would use your damage ball right at the start, and just send it into the enemy spawn. Try and get some ultimate charge with that. Nice. That's what you want to do, is just build up your ultimate charge here. And you can probably, you have the advantage here, the man advantage, so you can hold the payload, like, you can play really aggro. You don't need to play back. You can just hold them at the payload here. And one tip I would give you about playing on payload maps is remember that in order to win the game, the enemy has to go on the payload. So you don't need to do anything unless they're going on the payload. Like that's the win condition, which I know you understand anyway. I'm just explaining it in case anyone can benefit from that. You can basically just play super aggro. But I would usually hold out the payload here. Nothing much you could have done there, because you don't have any ability that could have saved your team from that tire. But good job saving yourself at least. This is nice. You're pushing aggro, which I would always recommend. Just build up your ult charge a bit. So again, I'm not seeing any major mistakes being made. Your Moira play is overall is fine. Nice. Your Orisa is kind of in a bad position. That's her fault. It's not really your fault that she died. She was just out in the open. There's nothing much you could do there. Nice getting to cover, making sure that you don't get hit by the Deeper bot. There's not really much I can say. It's, you're playing fine. This is pretty risky, but nice. Risky play, but it works out, so it's fine. Your tracking is good. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. But there's no way you should be in bottom 500, which does seem like a good evidence that the game is rigged on some level. Good position here. Like, you're not staying in one position. Wow. Nice positioning there. Overall, I'm really impressed. I'm not going to review anymore because there's not much to say. You're obviously not a bottom 500 player. And if you're still there after like years and years of playing, then something's wrong with the system, and Blizzard needs to fix that. People are going to deny that. They're going to say the system is fine. There's a lot of Blizzard White Knights out there that will tell you that the matchmaking is fine. But there's a massive amount of evidence that it's not fine. So yeah, just keep accumulating the evidence, and like people can't deny it forever. Sooner or later, you have to just like wake up to the truth that there is rigging in these games. It's not an even. It's not a fair ladder. And I'm saying that as someone who has this account is in Platinum, right? And my other account is in Master, which I can show here. And it makes absolutely no sense. Like, this just proves that there is something wrong with the ladder. But that was really interesting because I've never seen bottom 500 gameplay. So thank you for providing the replay codes. It's really interesting to watch. I'm gonna end this here. But I'll be doing more Reinhardt videos soon. So if you're interested in watching them, definitely I'll be uploading more